we're good.
Good. It's
So,
great to see all of you here. It's been a while.
yes, so how are you feeling right now?
I feel good. It's been an intense few days preparing and having lots of fittings with a few amazing designers from right here in Manila. And yeah, it feels like a crazy journey, and right now it's starting to feel more real, obviously being sat in front of you guys. And feels like everything's coming together. And in less than 48 hours, I'll be flying out to Thailand.
Okay.
So it's really happening now. So looking forward to it.
Are you nervous, excited?
I'm not really nervous. I have a strange calm feeling about it. I also trust, everything that happens is meant to happen, and I'm quite spiritual and religious. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But also, I'm super excited to go to Thailand because I've never been there, and Thai food is my favourite. So I'm really looking forward to get stuck into some good food. But I'll also have to try not to eat too much because I need to keep in shape for the competition. So yeah.
But what were your preparations?
So far, the preparation since I landed back in Manila on Friday, I have first of all got into the gym. In UK, when I work out, I just work out at home and I do the odd run or just a home workout for 30 minutes every night. But here I finally got stuck into a gym, so I've been going to the gym once or twice a day just to try and sort of pump up and get back into shape. And I'm also continuing to try and eat healthy, which in Manila is also very difficult
Yes.
because there's so many great Filipino dishes here in Manila that I can't get over
What's
in
your
London. My favorite is ganata and calabasa.
Yan ang kalabasa. That's healthy.
Yeah, I love it. I love the pumpkin in it. Yeah, I find that very addictive. When I was younger, I loved pork adobo, so that was very addictive. But yeah, right now, ganata and kilabasa for me tastes perfect and also is pretty healthy as well. And yeah, so I've been preparing by eating ganata and calabasa, and yeah, having some photo shoots with some of the outfits that I'm looking forward to showcase over in Thailand. And yeah, tomorrow I have some final training for my walk. And I need to improve things like my posing, my walk, and yeah, maybe the Q&A as well. We'll do some practice sessions with that tomorrow with Sir Jonas Gafford. So one of the best. Sir Jonas Gafford has trained some of our amazing beauty queens, so it feels very surreal that I'll be up next representing the country.
That's true. You're half British, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ang
Your
nanay ko
mom?
galing sa Nueva Ecija.
Wow. Uy, nagtatagalog ka pala, pinahihirapan mo naman.
Konti lang.
Konti
Kasi
lang.
I grew up in England, and my mum tried to teach us when we were younger, me and my brother. But in England, even the Filipinos, they always speak English to each other, so it's very difficult to learn and to make it stick. But yeah, since I started coming here to Manila a lot more and doing some workshops and making friends, and I started to try and learn a bit more.
So your mom is from Lebanese. What are some of the Filipino values or traits she taught you?
I think the main values that my mother has taught me is to sort of never give up and to be very resilient. My mum grew up on a rice field and a farm. She'd walk very far to school each day. All of my mother's siblings, they didn't really study past high school because of money, but my mother fortunately did very well. She's very intelligent, so she would work hard at night doing night shifts, and she managed to get herself into university in the daytime, and eventually she managed to get a job in the Middle East. Eventually she managed to get a job in London, and she met my father at a train station. And 28 years later, I'm here now representing the country my mother came from, which is a beautiful story. And hopefully I can make my mother proud over in Thailand on September the 17th, because she's my biggest fan.
Wow.
Yeah, every day she messages me and asks how the preparation is going. And every single post I see about this pageant or previous pageants, my mum always comments, sort of the nicest comments.
She's
But
in UK right now.
Yeah, she's in the UK.
Oh.
She wanted to come, but ever since I was a child, we always try and come back every Christmas, because Christmas is a lovely time to spend with our Filipino family over here, and she already has flights booked to come back in December, so it was a bit too much money to try
Christmas
and come.
started already. It's
Ah,
September.
okay. I should have told her
You
that.
know that.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah, I hear like Christmas songs already on the radio, and going into some stores, I'm seeing Christmas decorations for sale.
Yes.
So yeah,
We
this
have
is,
that longest celebration.
yeah,
Filipinos.
it's amazing. But yeah, unfortunately, my mum won't be coming to support in Thailand and isn't here to help me prepare and give me that extra boost. But I know she's here with me in spirit, and the same with my brother, even though he's not around anymore. I feel his presence with me everywhere I go. So I feel strong getting into this next competition, and hopefully I can do the country proud.
And what are you most excited about in the competition?
In terms of the competition stages,
Yeah.
or sort of just going to Thailand in
Yeah,
general?
just going to Thailand, yes.
Yeah, as I said earlier, my favorite cuisine is Thai food,
Yeah.
so that's probably the one thing I'm most excited about. But the next thing I would say is just going to meet all of these inspirational men from all over the world. So there are 40 countries competing with us, and some of them I've already spoke to. They seem really friendly, and I'm sure each of those has their own story and has their own success story, and are very inspiring. And it would be great just to hang out with them and also feed off some of their energy and inspiration. And yeah, there'll be a lot I can learn off some of the other candidates, and it will just be a crazy ride. The last two competitions I've done, Mr. Filipinas Worldwide and also one in Europe, I've been competing with Filipinos who also have similar values, have a similar culture and a similar upbringing. But this time it will be nice just to meet lots of different cultures, different individuals, different personalities, all in the same place, competing for the same prize. It will just be very interesting to see all the different characters all together.
Go Adam.
Go Adam!
Hi Jefferson. So it's going to be in Thailand. The pageant is happening there.
Yeah.
Have you, as early as now, have you seen who you will be up against with? Have you been surveying, stalking around your fellow competitors?
I haven't actually. I mean, I've seen a few posts that I've been tagged in, which have sort of generic photos of all of our our batch of 40 nations competing in Mr. International, and I've followed a few other of the accounts of fellow competitors, but I think I'm going into this competition with the same approach as before, in that I'm not focused on who I'm competing against. My the way I go into these things is I just focus on myself, because at the end of the day there's nothing I can do about the other people or the competition, and if I want to win, or if I want to do myself proud, then I need to make sure I focus on myself and do the best I can with what I have control of, and that's with my physique, my mentality, my heart, my motivation, my advocacies, and how I deliver my performance in the competition. And so that's what I'm really focused on. But I know for sure there's going to be some really tough competition, especially from other Asian countries who always turn up well, and also the South American countries always deliver well in these competitions. But yeah, if I can give myself the best chance by preparing the best way I can, then yeah, we've got half a chance of doing well as a whole nation. And yeah, it's great that I feel like I've got lots of support from the Philippines, and I feel mentally I feel strong, and I'm going to go in there fighting with some of the Filipino spirit of resilience, and I won't give up.
I would like to ask about your wardrobe.
Okay.
Who will be dressing you up for the finals night, for the preliminary competition? Would there be even a national costume competition?
Yes, so there'll be a national costume competition there, as well as a swimwear and evening wear as well. But my stylist is Rick Soletto, so he's been doing great last minute, putting some designers together for me. So I have designers such as Nat Manilog, Francis Libilan, and I also have Ryan Chris on right now,
Ryan
which
Chris,
feels awesome. So I can't wait to showcase some of these groundbreaking designs from our country over in Thailand.
Alright.
Paikot din.
Hey Jeff, welcome back to the Crown Philippines. Mr. International Thailand is also half British, and he's been landing the leaderboards, recently as one of the top favorites. You're
Cool.
also half British, but you're a Filipino British descent. But what do you think would be the your Filipino characteristic that will make you stand out among others?
I think one thing that is undeniable about the Philippines is we are a small ripple of islands in the middle of an ocean. We're such a small country, but as a nation, we're so ambitious. Our population has spread globally, and we have representatives all around the world who've, with their ambition and their passion and their big dreams that they never give up on, our nation is represented in so many different industries around the world. So fashion, in engineering, in medical, we have so many nurses that have travelled all around the world. And I think one thing for sure is that with our Filipino spirit, we may have small beginnings, we may come from a small country, but our dreams are so big, and the ambition is so big. That's the one thing that I will embrace with me, take to Thailand, and that's one thing that can hopefully elevate me with the whole nation all the way to the top. So fingers crossed.
Do you have an idea who's going to be your roommate when you get to Thailand?
I have no idea.
Not yet.
It will be super exciting. Hopefully, as you say, if the Thailand representative is also half British, it would be great to share the room with him and share some stories.
Yeah.
And one of my favourite Formula One drivers is Alexander Albon, and he's also half English, half Thai. So yeah, he's really cool, and hopefully it will be great to get to know this Thai representative, and I'm sure I'll get along with him very well.
I'm actually interested. You're an entrepreneur. You
Yes.
studied economics and finance.
Yeah.
But how did you land?
How did I land into
in beauty
this?
pageants?
Pageantry.
Yeah,
Okay.
pageantry.
That's a good question. I could go back really far back with this story, but I'll go back to when I was last here in the Philippines with my brother. In 2013, 1 year before my brother passed away, this was the last time I was traveling on the MRT with my mother and my brother.
MRT.
Yeah, and I love the MRT. It's very cheap and very efficient. Whereas the jeepneys are difficult to get. You never know where the right one is coming. But anyway, I was on the MRT with my mother and my brother, and even since we were children, sometimes there'd be talent managers or people working for TV production companies, and they'd always scout my brother, and they'd say to my mum, "Oh, can you bring your children to this event or this show or to a casting?"
Go
and things
see,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
go
to
see.
different go-sees, or they'd ask. They'd always be after my brother to sign him up for something because
Your brother, not you.
not me. Maybe I was too young, or maybe I was
Okay.
ugly when I was younger. So yeah, and then he wanted to try out something like this. Maybe he could have tried out modelling or a pageant one day, but he never got the chance to because he passed away when he was only 20 years old.
Oh.
But as I got older and I made friends here in Manila, I'd always get invited to. I have friends who are models, and they'd always invited me. "Oh, come and see my talent manager and join my agency and things like this." And eventually, I gave in. It's not really my thing. I'm not really a poser kind of guy. I'm more a very reserved kind of British character, and I just stick to what I love doing, which is working with cars. But essentially, 2019, I eventually did some modelling work with a small agency here called Main Models, who I had a lot of fun with, did some runway shows and a few photo shoots. And during the pandemic, there's a Filipino organisation in Europe who do Mr. Republica and Filipinas pageant. And the guy who runs that reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to join a fashion show here in Milan to represent upcoming Filipino designers?" And eventually he told me, "If you win this, then you'll be Mr. Filipinas Europe." So I kind of said, "Yeah, okay, I'm not really sure. It's not really my thing, but I'll give it a go." And I accidentally won that, and then the next thing is they said, "Do you want to do Mr. Filipinas Worldwide in Manila next year?" And I said, "Okay, I won it last time, so let's see what happens this time." and that one went well in May. Had a great time with that, and because I won the Mr. Pilipinas International Ambassador title there, they invited me to compete in Thailand for the Mr. International there. So here I am. It's been a crazy journey, and yeah, I always believe everything happens for a reason, and I don't know what my purpose is exactly yet, but
So you're also doing this for your brother who passed
yeah,
away.
yeah, because he never got this opportunity to do this, and I'm sure if he was still here now, he would have been a lot more successful than me in this kind of industry, and who knows, maybe together we would have competed against each other in a competition. But yeah, so yeah, I feel like I'm on a crazy journey. I don't know where it's taking me exactly, but I believe God has a greater purpose for this, because I did not plan this. This is not my plan, but somehow I find myself sitting here in front of you guys, and yeah, maybe the purpose is not to necessarily win as per, say, getting a #1 trophy in Thailand, but maybe it's to just go there, be on an international global platform where I can inspire more people who've been through a similar journey, where they might have lost a loved one who's always been for them growing up, and if I can prove to them that if you're in a place where everything's falling apart, if you're in a place where you feel like you've been in the dark for so long and everything's a mess and you're not making any progress in life, if I can just stand up on a global stage and say, look, I was there where you were one time, and there were days where I also didn't want to be alive. I wanted to give up, but if you can push through it and find out what you're passionate about in life, find out what you enjoy doing, and if you can sort of make your own light in your own darkness, then there's nothing that can stop you. So yeah, that might be what winning looks like for me, and I'm just gonna go to Thailand and have fun and see where it takes me.
What are your advocacies?
I think in male pageants, advocacies are a lot less pronounced, but it'd be great if I could go to Thailand, and if I can do well, I'd love to raise awareness for things that are really important for young males like myself going into the future, like climate change, maybe renewable energy. For me, myself, this year particularly, I like to say working hard and playing hard. My business during the week is very busy. I work flat out 4 days a week, sometimes 20 hours, and then I only sleep 4 hours and the same the next day. But what I love doing is at the end of the week I find a cheap flight to go anywhere. A lot of the time I go to Italy and I sort of relax and do my paperwork and admin over in a different country. And similarly, coming here now, I've been on so many flights this year. I've lost track of how many flights and how many different countries I've been, but I think I've been on 48 flights this year already.
Wow.
And what I don't know, what I wasn't taught in school is what can I do as a young man to sort of reduce my carbon footprint, but also enjoy the life that I've been given and the opportunities that I've been given. And in a sense, there's no way I'm going to turn down an opportunity to represent the Philippines, but also traveling to Philippines and then to Thailand probably causes a lot of carbon emissions. So I'm on this journey where I'm trying to do research and learn how I can maybe give back to the planet and reduce my carbon footprint. So right now I'm looking into how I can plant trees, what organisations there are who can help me plant trees and things like that. But also I'd love to be on a platform, especially of what I've been through and the tragedies I've been through, is to talk about mental health. That's something that I think is very close to my heart, and yeah, there's so many people like me here out there who've either they've been young and they've lost their mother at a young age, or they've lost a brother, an older brother, or a father. They've lost their biggest inspirations at a young age, and certainly from my experience, when things like that happens, it can leave you in a very messed up place, because someone who's been there and guided you your whole life, if they're no longer there, you have to really sort of learn who you are and put yourself back together. That's something I'd like to advocate in the future as well. And yeah, those are, I'd say, the two main things I'd like to speak about on a public level and raise awareness about.
What do you miss about your brother?
What do I miss most? I think in the first few years I missed I missed the intellectual conversations we've had. we both were studying together at the same university, in the same batch actually. So we both lived together in Wales in the UK, studying at the University of Cardiff. And we both went to lectures together, we went to classes together. And he was so ambitious and he had so many dreams about business ideas. In fact, one of the most heartbreaking things I found after he died was he had a whole document full of business plans for multiple ideas he had for businesses. One of them now is sort of turned into fruition, and he had the same kind of business idea as Grab for food, or in the UK we have Just Eat or Deliveroo. And he used to bounce ideas like this off me, and I used to say, no, that'll never work. Like, this is, like, if people want food, they just go to the restaurant or go to McDonald's and buy the food for themselves. But yeah, he said, oh no, it'd be really efficient if you can pay someone a small fee to cycle or take a motorbike and deliver right to your door. And we used to always have these amazing conversations, kind of criticizing each other, bouncing ideas off each other. And yeah, I'm sure if he was still alive now, he'd be 30 years old, and I'm sure he'd be the CEO of some really groundbreaking business by now. But the thing I learned that I miss the most about him as I've got older into my 20s is, it sounds really stupid, but I miss the arguments. You know, if someone really loves you, like your mother or your father, if they have the kind of arguments that are, they're almost critical of you, but they highlight your flaws and what you need to improve on. They're not trying to degrade you or put you down like a bully might, but they're having these important arguments to really teach you what you need to know and to help you. And I had a lot of arguments with my brother growing up because he was trying to teach me to be a better person, guide me to be better with my weaknesses and really highlight what I need to do to be a better person. And those kind of arguments where they're really heated, they're really passionate, but I look back on some of them now and I think, wow, I miss having someone who loves me that much that they're willing to do whatever it takes to try and get that message through to me that this is what you need to do. Even when, you know, with your mother or your father or siblings, you can be stubborn sometimes, but those arguments with your siblings sometimes are the ones where you can learn the most.
Go Adam. Go Adam G.
Go Adam G.
Go Adam G. I think
No,
he
how
can
do-
answer it.
How do you plan to stand
intelligently.
out in the competition?
That's a really good question, especially when there's so many
Yeah.
top tier competitors from
Yes.
around the world. How do I stand out?
Is there a strategy?
Yes. I'm going to make up a better strategy, but right now, what I'm so grateful of is I'll be wearing some amazing outfits from some of the top designers from here in Manila. So I know my finals outfit looks fantastic. I'm going to stand out with that. And the same for my preliminaries. Maybe the way of how I stand out is I need to reduce maybe my reserved British persona, and I need to really elevate my inner Filipino, bring out a Filipino heart, the Filipino personality, and really just bring a lot more swag and character to the competition so that I'm recognized not only in what I'm wearing, but also the way I feel on stage and the confidence I can show as an aura on stage, and really give off a lot of confidence. That's my plan so far, but as soon as I get into Thailand and I meet some of the organisers, some of my fellow competitors, I'm sure I'll come up with a more detailed strategy of how I can stand out and make the Philippines very proud.
All right.
Thanks, Adam.
You mentioned you've traveled to different countries.
Yeah.
So in the future, if you're asked to settle down, probably, which country would you like to settle down?
Let's just first ask if he's single.
Oh.
Maybe.
maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay.
Maybe not.
Yes, maybe.
Maybe not. We'll see.
Which country would you like to settle in?
That's a really good question. Growing up, I always thought, I'd love to live in the Philippines. And then as I got older and developed my business, it was easy for me to think, okay, I love life in the UK. There's a great Filipino community in the UK, but life's very comfortable there. And as I've grown up since my brothers died, I've been more about pushing my boundaries, pushing myself past my comfort zone, and just trying to live big and have a lot of opportunities that in my previous life I would not have said yes to. And so that's why I've been traveling a lot more now. But my goal right now is to spend 6 months in the UK and 6 months over here in the Philippines, because that way I get the best of both worlds. Best of my half English side, the best of my half Filipino side, and the best of both cuisines. But yeah, in the future, maybe there's a country I haven't visited yet that maybe one day I'll go to, and I'll think I want to settle down here. I think right now the place that is best for me is right here in the Philippines, because I think God seems to be bringing me back here a lot more often now since COVID, and I feel a lot of love and support happening here in the Philippines. And it's nice to be back here with some of my cousins who I spent a lot of my time with as a child. And I have a lot to Italy this year. I have a lot of friends, particularly Filipino friends over in Italy. And there's a nice balance between the amazing Italian food, beautiful beaches as well. So yeah, I think certainly in the near future I'll be spending a lot of my time more in the Philippines and in Italy. But in the future, who knows? Maybe Thailand if it goes well. Maybe I could settle down there.
Your thoughts on pageantry opening up to married individuals and young parents?
I think it's incredible. The Philippines has had so many strong front runners in male and female pageants historically, but what if there was a really amazing, powerful young woman who, because she was a mother, what if she just missed out on making the Philippines very proud and maybe winning Miss Universe, or maybe a young father who, by becoming a father, has learned so much about himself and has sort of taken this responsibility of becoming a father very well, and would then have the opportunity to inspire so many other young fathers around the world. And maybe now's the chance that we can put through some really amazing parents through pageantry who can do amazingly well for the Philippines. And I think it's the perfect opportunity to find more top tier ambassadors for our country.
Do you consider yourself handsome?
When I'm in front of you, yes, Adam, because you're very complimentary.
Do you think being handsome can get you far in life?
Maybe it helps. Maybe it helps with being persuasive. Like if you really need something from someone and they see the sort of the glint in your eye and the sparkle, maybe there's a little edge that you can get to making someone say yes, or to encouraging someone to kind of go with you somewhere, or to take you somewhere, or to give you something. So I say yes in a way, but also, individuals nowadays, particularly through telephone calls or interviews, you can tell a lot more about a person just from how they look. There's a lot more to people than what you see is what you get. I think what's so important is what's in your heart, and that's what the main thing is that will get you far in life. The way you think and the way you're able to show your real intentions. It's easy to look good and be fake, I guess, but if you can really show your heart, it doesn't matter what you look like at the end of the day. There's beauty far within each of us, no matter whether you're white or black, or skinny or slim, or whether you have brown hair or blonde hair or black eyes or blue eyes. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. I think at the end of life, I speak the same for my brother. My memories of my brother are slowly becoming less clear. Like, I remember details of his hands, his face, but at the end of the day, the main thing is with my brother, who's no longer with us and hasn't been with me for 9 years. The thing I remember is his heart and his intentions and some of the things he said. I think people remember the way you make other people feel rather than the way you look. So yes and no.
For sure, your brother's gonna be proud of you.
Thank you so much, Adam.
So last question, can you give a message to all your Filipino fans who will be supporting you, rooting for you to win Mr. International?
Thanks, Adam. I said this last time I had an interview with you, Adam. It still feels surreal that I have Filipino fans, because in my mind I'm just a small kid who grew up in a small town in England, and where I grew up there wasn't many other Filipinos around. There weren't many coloured people in the school I went to when I was a little kid. So it's very strange to know that I have fans, but here I am standing in front of you guys doing a press conference. So yeah, I just have to say a massive thank you from my heart to all the fans who've kind of elevated me into this position in the last few years since I guess I started doing modelling in 2019 here. And yeah, it's difficult for me to find words actually, but I guess there's nothing more I can say than thank you so much for your support. I try and reply to some of your messages sometimes, but it's not always possible because I'm working so hard, but I want you to know that I really appreciate that you're with me, and I almost feel like you give me wings elevating me, and when I'll be wearing that flag over in Thailand, it will be for you guys, and I hope I'm able to deliver for you, and with your spirit of the Philippines, I hope we can go there to Thailand and do well as a collective team, as a country, and fingers crossed we'll bring the crown back here and bring the glory, and if not, we'll win by inspiring the rest of the world with our hearts and our minds and our ambition and our dreams as a nation. Thank you so much, guys.
When is the pageant?
The pageant will be, the finale will be on September the 17th in Thailand, but we've got preliminaries on the 15th and some other competitions before. So I'll be flying there in less than 40 hours now. So it's game on, guys.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good luck. The biggest competition of your life so far.
Yeah. Can't
The
wait.
longest weekend, the longest week, 6 days. Yeah, you're leaving on Saturday, on Friday.
Friday.
So the pageant is just gonna be for 1 week.
Yeah.
Around
10
more
10 days.
10 days.
Yeah. It's gonna be intense, but it should be fun.
How old are you?